Hey y'all, what's good? What's good? It's your girl Tip. Welcome back to my channel for those of you who have been rocking with me for a while. And for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I hope that you find the content here helpful and that you will subscribe to my channel. I am on the race to 1,000 subscribers. So I want to thank you all. I am almost at midway, halfway. I'm almost at 500. So thank you all who have already subscribed to my channel. Welcome back. And so here on my channel, I share daily encouragement as well as I am sharing my journey as a single mom in transition, as a single mom and a grandmother in transition. And so I know some of you may also be going through transition. And so I just want to share my journey. As if you guys have been following me, you know that I shared that I have been through multiple transitions throughout my life. And God has placed it on my heart to start this YouTube channel like years ago. And I started, I would make videos here and there, then life would be lifing, and then I would just stop. But I am making the commitment to myself, to God, and to you all to show up daily with encouragement and just sharing my life, my journey. And hopefully that this will inspire you all. Hopefully that something that I say will encourage you and help you along your journey. So today I want to talk about forgiveness, which is one of the major keys when you are going through transition. Me personally, each time that I've had to go through a transition, some of the people that I thought were going to be there for me or that I thought um, would have supported me more, they were not there in the way that I felt like they should be. And a lot of them actually intentionally did things to try to, hinder my progress. And so I had a lot of resentment in my heart, a lot of, um, negative emotions towards those people. And one of the things that God revealed to me as I was going through one of the transitions in my life was that I had to forgive. The first thing was that I had to forgive. And so God really started dealing with me heavy on forgiveness about 10 years ago when my brother passed away. And my brother passed away. I shared this on a few videos back if you guys go back and watch. But my brother passed away due to a fentanyl overdose. And um, he had a lot of people around him during that time, like the couple of years leading up to his passing, and a lot of people that I felt was aware of, the toxic things that were going on in his life, and I feel that they contributed in a lot of ways to that. And also, prior to my brother passing, maybe about 6 or 7 years prior to my brother passing, I had gone through a um, very horrible separation from my first husband, domestic violence and things of that nature. And I'll share more about that on another video. But God knew that I was holding on to the hurt, and I was really looking for an apology and all of those things. And those are natural feelings that we develop when someone has hurt us. We are looking for them to come and apologize, because we feel and we believe that they are in the wrong. We feel like that in order for us to forgive them, they need to come and apologize. But that's not how forgiveness works. You have to, it's not something that's just passive. You have to make the decision. You have to choose to forgive, whether the person acknowledges they're wrong or whether they come and apologize or not. You forgiving them does not mean that what they did is acceptable. That does not make you accept their behavior. It does not mean that you forget what they did. It just means that you make the decision to let go of any negative emotions that is tied to what that person did to you. And the reason that it's important for you to let those things go is because that's going to help in the healing process so that you can move forward in your life and into the things that God is calling you and into the blessings, to be able to receive the blessings that God has given you. And it releases their power over you, because as long as you hold on to an offense, the longer you hold on to the offense and you focus on the offense, it intensifies it, it magnifies it. And so it is, as I said in a previous video, it's nothing but a distraction. The enemy uses unforgiveness to keep us in bondage and to keep us stuck. And so it's so important that you come to an understanding that in order for you to fully walk in the things that God is calling you to do, and in order for you to fully heal from whatever that hurt is that you have to let it go. You have to let go of the offense. So I just want to share with you really quickly a story that something that recently happened to me, and where God is really working on me. I am working on releasing any unforgiveness that I may be having. And that's one thing that you guys have to also do, is you have to talk to God. You have to ask God to reveal to you any unforgiveness that you may be holding, any resentment or any bitterness that you may be holding against someone that you may not even be unaware of. So pray to that effect and ask God to reveal those things to you and to help you to heal so that you can move forward in the things of God, okay? So about a year ago, one of my cousins, who's like a brother to me, we were always really close, but he lives in a different state, but he's like a brother to me, and we have like this love-hate relationship. Like, we love each other, but ever since we were younger growing up, like, we always have had this love-hate relationship, but we just like we love each other. But he had come home to visit his mom and his family. They had some family get together for their immediate family, and so he had called me before he came and told me that he was coming home and he was coming to see me. He got me all pumped and hyped and excited, and the whole nine. And so he was calling me every day up until the time that he actually arrived to come home. And so I was so excited, only to come to find out that he had made it home, and he did not come and see me. He did not call or anything. And I know that it was because some other family members had a lot to say, because I am like one of the people in the family who's like the black sheep. And so for whatever reason, they had to say, had some things to say. And so I believe that is why he didn't call. And so for the rest of the family, I'm used to them acting like that. So that was nothing new to me. But for him to do that, it really hurt. And I expressed that to, some other family members that I'm close with, that we were all like, grew up like close brothers and sisters. And so I shared that. And so they knew how I felt about it. And this has been like some months ago. I want to say maybe a year, give or take. And so I have not spoken with him since then, until recently, when my kids and I had to leave our home. And I called him and I let him know, that I was going through some challenges and that I may need his help, blase. And so his response was like, okay. It was just kind of like a dry response to me, because he said he had a lot going on, da. And so I said, okay, well, I'll call you back and I'll let you know. I'm trying to work some things out. And so because of the way that he responded, I chose not to call him back. I was like, okay, I'm just going to try to figure something else out. I'm going to figure this out. I'm trusting God all the way through and through anyway. But I felt like if someone feels like they don't want to help me, then maybe it's not God's will for them to help me. But even with that, at the same time, God had revealed to me that I was still operating in some type of bitterness, even pride, and all of those things. So we just have to be so careful when it comes to, because unforgiveness, a lot goes into unforgiveness. So there are a lot of different emotions that can be tied to unforgiveness. So like I said, I didn't call him. I haven't spoken with him since then. I didn't call him. He called me like maybe 1 or 2 times shortly after he came home and went back to where he lives now. And I chose not to answer the phone. And so on Christmas, I spoke to one of our other cousins, who we all kind of like, grew up together, because my mom and my dad was like the household, the house that everybody came to. So my mom was like the auntie slash mama for a lot of our family. So these 2 cousins of mine were like brothers to me. And so I spoke with one of them for on Christmas, and he was like, have you called your cousin? And I said, no, I haven't spoken back with him. And so he was like, you need to call him because I think he has something for you. And I was like thinking to myself, well, if he got something for me, he has my number, he can call me or whatever. But I just said that, okay, I'll call him. I'm going to call him. And so that was on Christmas Day. And so today is January 14th. So I still I still chose to not call him, even though my cousin said he may have something for me. I was like, nah, he might just be telling you that. But if he knows that, I was in need and he could call me. So anyway, I still didn't call him. And so I've been sharing with you guys that I am starting a new assignment. I just recently started a new assignment. And so there are certain requirements that I had to have, and certain documents that I had to have in order to accept this position. And so I had to spend a little money to get some things. And so I needed to get a specific county permit. And so I was just like, I had gotten down to the day before I actually needed the permit, and it was on a Friday. So if I didn't get it that Friday, because I was going to have to report to the assignment on Saturday. So if I didn't get it that Friday, then it would be Monday, the following Monday, before I could get it again. So it was kind of like an emergency situation for me to get it. But I was like, I could ask my daughter, but she already had, kind of helped me with some other things that I was going to need. And she's, she has her responsibilities and expenses and things like that. So I did not want to bother her, not even knowing if she had it or not. And so when I mentioned it to her, she did not volunteer to help. And so I was like, she may not be in a position right now to do that. So, okay, God, I'm trusting you. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm trusting you. So I had to be at the place before like 4:30 p.m. that evening. And so that's what time they close. So I was just sitting, doing my daily, like, just meditation and prayer. And God knows what we have need of before we even ask. And so God knows my heart. He knows that I'm walking by faith. I'm trusting that he's going to provide a way, even if I had to go ahead and just ask my daughter to let me borrow the money to get it, or until I can give it back to her. And so God knew my heart. He knew I didn't want to do that. And so it was just like, clearly God said to call your cousin. And mind you, I said I was going to call him, but my plan was to call him, but I just didn't know when I was going to call him, what I was going to call him and say. I didn't want to call him with a sad story, or call him like asking for anything again. Like I wanted to call him when I can say, hey, I'm back on my feet. I got, whatever. So, but when I knew, when I heard the voice of God clearly tell me to call him, I knew without hesitation that it was time for me to call him. And so when I called him, he was, he seemed very excited to hear from me. And he, expressed that he was concerned and just wanted to know that I was okay wherever I am, not trying to be all in my business or whatever, but as long as I'm okay. And so I told him what I needed. And it was only about, the certificate that I needed was only going to be about $20, y'all. I didn't even have that at the time. And so I was like, okay, he can give me $20. I know he can do that. And so when I called him and I told him, I said, yeah, my other cousin said that you said for me to call you. And he was like, yeah, I've been looking for you. I've been concerned. And so I shared with him what I needed. And y'all, when I tell you, before I could even finish telling him, he was like, I cash app you way over what I was asking him for. And I did not ask that. I did not expect that. Like, I expected him to do maybe a little more than what I was asking for. Like, if I was asking for 20, I expected that he probably would send me like maybe 50, but no, he did way more than that. And it helped me to be able to get the things that I need, and to have like gas money and money to buy some food for, this first week of the assignment. No, knowing that after the first couple of weeks or whatever, I'll be able to pay him back if I needed to. But he said that I didn't even have to do that. And so even at that moment when I called him, I really I felt peace, and I no longer felt that resentment and bitterness. And even when my cousin was telling me to call him, I was already like, that was already dissolving those feelings of bitterness and everything. Even though it still was in the back of my mind that he didn't, he hadn't treated me like he should have, because I'm like the baby sister or whatever, baby cousin. But those feelings, I was still starting to let those feelings go, because God has been dealing with me about unforgiveness. And I've been asking God to reveal to me anything that I'm holding in my heart so that I can let it go. And so, I'm just thankful that, first, I'm thankful that he was able to help, and I'm thankful because now I'm excited to to redevelop our relationship as a cousin slash, sister and brother. I'm excited about that. Now he can call you every day. He will like call you every day, multiple times a day. But I don't really have the time to be like just talking like that. But just to know that I can call him and he can call me, and just to conversate like we used to do, like we have done in the past. I'm just thankful for that. So I just wanted to share that story. But God wants me to let you guys know as well as myself that forgiveness is going to be one of the major keys that you need to exercise in this new year, in this new season in your life, and for where God is getting ready to take you, because God has some major blessings in store for you, and you don't want to hold up your blessings because of your unforgiveness. Okay, so I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. All right.